Hello guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. It's so good to be back. Okay, today I'll be doing a makeup tutorial. I know you haven't seen this in a while, right? But today I just feel like doing my makeup and I thought you should see it. It's gonna be a very simple one. It's gonna be something you can do before you step out of the house to work. So going about your business and any other thing you have to do for the day. I mean, you cannot be carrying your face like that every time now. So people are, in fact, there are some ladies that don't even care about how they look. They just carry their face with all the pimples and spots. Please, how you look will definitely determine how people address you, how people see you. Yes, the very first image of yourself, the very first impression of yourself you want to give people is how you look. So please, how you look is just as important as what you have to offer. There's nothing as wonderful as seeing someone who looks all put together and still expressing how knowledgeable they are. So please, before we even go into the video, if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for now? This is where things happen. You cannot just be sleeping on the bicycle. Hello, wake up. So without much ado, I go right into the video. So we won't be touching the lashes today, so we'll just do every other thing but lashes. My face is already moisturized. Yeah, I moisturize my face immediately after I had my bath. So it's very important that you moisturize, okay? So the very first thing we'll be doing is to use pond powder to reduce the oiliness on the brows to make it easier to draw. Yeah, so after we do that, we use the spoolie. Yes, you know the spoolie from mascara. Okay, and then this breaking blade process is I never get used to it. So we use the blade to just shaping out the brows till it becomes, smooth like this, So we do the same to the second brow before we start drawing. Make sure your pencil is sharp, and then start drawing from the outer corner like this, and then you find your way to the front using tiny strokes like this. Don't make it too thick. Use tiny strokes, and then you measure it with the eye to make sure that you are not drawing it too extensively. And then you fill out the brow like so with tiny strokes. Don't make sure that your strokes are not too thick, right? And then you just keep going, fill it out completely. And then when you get to the front, just do some upward strokes, very mild ones, softly like that. Yeah, and that is all for the brow. And then we'll move on to the next one, starting from the outer corner, move towards the front like I said before. And then you do the same when drawing the upper part of the brow. You start from the outer corner to form the shape of the arc, and then you walk your way to the front. When you get towards the front, you stop, and then you fill out yet again. Fill out completely, mildly, and then at the front you just use few strokes upward, at the top, and then we're done. Now it's time to highlight. You start again with you start from the outer corner, and then you walk your way to the front. So everything basically about the brows is from the outer corner towards the front. Now you are highlighting towards the front because of course, as you can see, the intensity of the concealer reduces as it goes forward. So, and of course you don't want so much concealer at the front part of the brow, basically, if that makes sense. And then you do the same to the second brow, starting from the outer corner and working your way to the front like so. So you can see that the intensity of the concealer is reducing as you go forward, and you need just a little bit of concealer in front. You don't want it too thick at that part. And when you are done with that, you just blend out. So you can see that this whole blending thing is even looking like I applied eyeshadow. I guess that's because there was some eyeshadow on the blending brush before I used it. That's why it's important that you always clean up and wash your brushes. Even if you're the only one using it, wash your brushes. And then you get a bigger blending brush. This one is bigger and tougher, so it blends it out even more perfectly. So that's all with the lower part of the brow. Now we use foundation to highlight the upper part. So make sure of course, your foundation should be at least one shade, at most one shade lighter than your skin tone. So we use that for the top of the brow. and make sure it's smooth. You just steady your hand, Sha. It takes a while, especially when you're a beginner, to actually be an expert, to actually perfect the act of drawing brows, but over time you would get it. So you blend it out like so. You see how it's blended? Blending is the most important part of makeup, basically, because if you don't blend well, then you'll have problems. So yet again, we start with the outer corner and then we'll work our way to the front of the brows. Steady your hands. Make sure your hands are steady, very steady, so you don't, highlight on top of the pencil or on top of what is already drawn. That way you just mess the whole thing up. So make sure your hands are steady. You are cleaning up the top of the brows, not the brows itself. So, and then you blend it out yet again. Blend, 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 blend. You have to make sure that it blends with the skin. And then we're done with that. We go in with our eyeshadow. Yeah, you start with a very neutral color. Yeah, that is very close to the skin tone, and that will serve as the transition color. So make sure you don't drag the brush around, just dab it like that to and fro. And then you now apply, you do the same to the other brow, of course. Whatever you do to one brow, you do to the second one, okay? So you now use a darker shade for the outer corner of the eye, and then you try to do a kind of V, is it V? Yeah, a kind of V shape at the angle, yeah, to give it that cat eye effect. So for the major color, I'm using a golden brown color, and please note it has to be shimmer. Don't use a matte color as the major color. It always has to be shimmer. Yeah, so shimmer is that kind of eyeshadow that shines, basically. Yes, so for the outer corner you use the matte. That's the one that doesn't shine for the outer corner, but make sure you always use shimmer for the inner corner, like this. And make sure you dab. Make sure when you are applying eyeshadow you do not drag it around. You dab. Dabbing is the way. So the next thing you do is to try to merge the color on the outer corner the with the color we used for our transition. So you are more like just blending everything out till it's well blended. So the idea is we don't want to see any line that depicts that, okay, this color was added at this point. We just want everything to just blend out perfectly like this. So you are merging, like you are more like just blended it out basically. I don't know how else to explain it. And now you get this small brush. I love this brush for drawing my eyeliner because it is just tiny and it gives me the perfect size of the line I want. The one that is found in eyeliner regularly, usually they're just fat somehow, and they always make the eyeliner look fat on the eye, which we don't want. So we want it as tiny as possible and as close to the lash line as possible, which this brush does perfectly for me. You can see that it doesn't stress me at all, unlike the regular eyeliner. So that's it. And then we go in with our eye pencil. Easy and quiet. You just roll it up and then apply underneath the eye like that. Just to make the eye pop, basically. And now it's foundation time. I love foundation. But first of all, we have to use white powder. Okay, and so I use a white powder for as my foundation base. Yeah, it just works for me. Don't judge me. And I make sure it's well spread across the face, and then I go in with my foundation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, make sure your foundation is always at least one shade, not at least, at most a shade lighter than your skin tone. Please, you don't want to be looking like a masquerade on the road. And then if you have a smaller brush to spread the foundation before you blend it, with this big wonderful blending brush I have. Such a lifesaver, this blending brush. I don't need a beauty blender for my foundation at all. This brush does the trick. You should get one. I recommend it. But of course, just to fulfill all righteousness, I still go in with my beauty blender. And now it's time for powder. So I use a shade. That's my shade basically. So the very next thing we do is to go in with the eye pencil on the lip. So we are outlining the lip basically. So we're following the lines already on the lip, if that makes sense. So we just follow through like that. I don't know, you can make the lines thick, you can make them slim, it depends on you. And just make sure that it is well outlined. That's the point. And then you make the corners of the lip a little thicker, like so, a little thicker. And then you get a brush to blend out what you have, to blend out the pencil, because you don't want your lip looking all pencilish, if that makes sense. So, and then you go in with the nude lipstick. I usually like to apply my lippies with a brush. I don't like applying it directly because I don't know. And then, of course, we have our lip gloss on to give it a shine. See how shiny the lips are. And then now you, okay, because of the weather is hot. So you can be doing cream contour and highlighting. You can just do powder and move on. It's even better, safe as far as I'm concerned, it's better. So you apply a darker shade to the cheek area, like that, like that, like that, like that. You can see it's coming out now. You don't need oil every time or cream. And you can see it's all nice and smooth. And then we apply a lighter shade again to the lower part of the chin. Yep, like so, to give it a very highlighted finishing. And then you go in with a blush, small tiny blush, so you don't make the blush too much, or just small. Just more, less is more when it comes to blush. Less is always more. Less is more. And then you contour your nose. This is very important though. You want those nose dropping, like you have pointed nose, like Oyinbo nose. I think I'm having catarrh. Okay, I don't know. I need to treat myself for that soon. And then you highlight it. You can see you highlight it with a lighter shade of powder, and then you try to blend both in. You can see how smudged the nose is. Pointed nose, Lomo. Don't try this, girl. Okay, so the next part is glow. It's glow time, glow time. Yeah, so I think that's like the best part of makeup, the glow. It just brings it all out like that. So you need this brush, or this particular brush. If you don't have it in your brush set, you need it. It just makes the glowing process so easy. You can see the way it's just going, you know. And then you make your nose glow as well, making my nose glow. Yeah, and the bridge between your mouth and your nose also needs to glow. And of course, your lip needs to glow as well. The top of your lip need to glow. Then your tear duct, that one is very important. Your tear duct, you might just want to add a little bit of glow to that. It's not compulsory, but you could just do it. I felt like doing it. That was why I did it. Yes, your tear duct needs to shine too. Okay, and then your brows, the outer corner of your brows need to shine. Yes, these are the places that need to shine. Are you taking notes? Yeah, you need that part to shine as well, like that, just like that. Yeah, you do it to the other one too, and you see, it just makes the brow come out like, you know, distinctively, basically. Makeup is fun, guys. Makeup is so much fun. I always love it when I do my makeup. And then you also highlight the middle of the nose to also make that part glow as well. And then you can put a little bit of glow to your forehead and your chin. and even your neck, anywhere you want to glow, you can glow all the way. Of course, you use your spray to fix the face. Yeah, you need your fix spray to make sure that the makeup doesn't shift, and then you apply more bronzer to even further glow after you've used the spray. Okay, yeah, so we all glowed up, how do I look, guys? But of course, you need your hair done. You don't just do makeup and leave your hair like that. You need to fix those hairlines. Okay, you need to fix them and make them, you know, just stand out like that. Can you see the difference? The difference is clear now. Don't try, don't try. Okay, yes, so that's it. That's the final look. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. I love you.
Let me see you. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Let me see you. Oh, lo, lo, lo.